As Mayor of Memphis, I'd like to call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Davis.
Here.
Messiah absent. Schneider absent. Weaver.
Yep.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Make a motion, she's the absent.
Messiah absent. Schneider absent. Weaver.
Here. Yes. Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion to open the public hearing on master plan?
Support.
Schneider absent. Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Messiah absent.
Does anybody from the public have a comment or question on the master plan? Yes.
The overview that I looked at the last meeting that involved the alley behind
Yes.
the businesses on this side of Main Street.
Yes. That is not part of the master plan, but that would be something that would follow it up. It recommends that we improve our parking in downtown.
Okay, so there's no projected date even for development.
No, not at this point.
Okay, so
I have talked to several of the business owners about the possibility of a special assessment to get it done, if they would be interested, and there has been some interest shown.
Okay. In the meantime, the 6 or 8 feet that are directly behind the building that was the Doma Girls,
Yes.
it sits on the corner of Main and Boardman, or actually just on Boardman.
Okay.
That, if there's, I guess we'll winter the rest of this winter, but if there's no projected date for, if there's no projected date for development, then my sister and I would like to seriously consider, as long as our mother is living,
Right here, are you talking about this or over here?
there's 8 feet, 6 or 8 feet out behind that building that goes into the alley that is surveyed with a seal on register that belongs to our building.
Right, it is not owned by the city.
Correct. The stop sign would be then, need to be removed because we will develop that as a parking spot for our mother before another winter. The fall she took has had no lasting effects that we've been noticing,
Right.
but it's not something that we're willing to take a chance on for another winter.
That makes sense. And
So-
that area is in the parking plan set aside for a parking space.
Yes, but down the
So,
road,
in
how
the
far?
future.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've talked to the county, which they were supposed to be here, I'm not sure why they're not, but, they were going to help me try to develop, a timeline and a possible cost for getting something like this done, and then we could discuss, special assessments with the property owners at that time, and how much it would be, and which property owners would carry what burden.
Okay, because before next winter, I
Something
can
has to be done.
assure you that there
Okay.
will be a private parking spot there for
All
her
right.
car so that she can back right in there or pull in
It's your
and exit
property.
onto the cement.
It's already
just-
gravel, I wouldn't mind if you approved it, all right, at this point.
It's just that
your
with the
property.
stop sign there, people are used to driving through there, so there'll be
Right.
something put up that will prohibit that. They won't
Probably,
be able-
the city doesn't own any of that property over there.
Okay.
Right next to it's owned by the bar. Only the blue lots there are
Correct.
owned by the city. The city does not own that end of the alley at all.
Okay,
Only thing is I believe there's a sewer easement that goes up through there. So, hopefully there wouldn't be a possibility we need to get in there and tear up the parking lot you put in. I know that they dug it up a couple of years ago. Was it two years ago, 3 years ago?
That was just outside there, but Yeah, I'm not sure where the sewer line is there, whether it's still on their property or whether it's on city property. Very well could be.
No, it's not on city property, we
It's
don't
not.
own it, but
Oh,
there
yeah.
might be an easement down through there.
That could be.
Here's the problem. Here's show you guys what we're talking about. Here's the small building she's talking about, putting a parking space right here, which is currently the alley. But this, the city only owns the blue lots.
Okay.
So that end of the alley isn't owned by the city
So
at all.
nobody- okay, so
We have-
nobody-
And that was all addressed in the master plan of how does the city proceed with either, do we purchase that for parking and improve it, or do we work out some type of, like the downtown development authority might own it and use it for parking, where the business owners have a vested interest in it. So, yeah, that's something to come out of the master plan. Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'd like to know when the council votes on accepting the master plan.
Right after this public hearing
So tonight.
tonight.
Is there commercial all the way to Pratt Road? on
Yes,
M19?
well, this doesn't change any of the zoning. The master plan draws a roadmap for the next 15 years, 20 years. What this does is recommends that M19 be turned into a commercial corridor, but first, it be turned back into single-family residential, and then transitioned to commercial over time. Right now, it's all multifamily residential, and.
Where's all multifamily?
If you look at the map right over here behind you, all the yellow is multifamily residential. South of Benton, all the way to Pratt, all the yellow is multifamily residential. And it's the recommendation of the master plan to get rid of all that multifamily residential and put it back to single-family residential with a commercial overlay that would transition it over time into commercial.
So I'm sorry, but I just don't understand that. I mean, you're going back to residential, but then recommending that all of it go to commercial.
What that does is it allows us to control.
Allows who?
The council, the city, to control the development of the commercial along M19 corridor. The only way we can increase our property values and increase our tax base, because we are 1 square mile, is to have some commercial property in town. But we don't want, a commercial building here, residential building here, commercial building here. So the new master plan recommends that we develop a way to transition that, properly, because it hasn't been done properly. We've got spot zoning down toward the south end where the ice cream shop, that was spot zoned. And we want to transition it slowly into a commercial corridor, because it needs to be. There's 8,000, at this time, 8,000 cars a day go by on M19. Before, at one point, it was up to 19,000 went by on M19 every day. That's the only place we have that makes sense to develop commercial.
Well, when was the last time that a new commercial building was built in town here?
It's
I
been
don't
a
even
while.
think Larry's been around that long.
And I've been around a while, but no, I've been a while too.
No, what this does is it helps position us not for today, but for the growth that may come in the future. Before, it was, our zoning, there were so many layers to it that it was restrictive and confusing, according to the planners that we were working with on this plan. We should simplify it, have a single commercial zoning instead of 3 like we have, and develop that eventually. Whether it's, we take the houses and they become lawyers' offices like you see in downtown Richmond or Romeo, or where you see new buildings going in, where older homes that can't be renovated or restored or torn down.
Dan, a question then is, if the master plan, this master plan then says, first of all, you said it recommends that we zone it residential. Now, being zoned residential, there's also businesses in there now. So how do we?
They would fall into that commercial overlay. We
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
change any zoning
Okay.
until we had the, change the zoning to single family with the commercial overlay
Okay, and then if somebody commercial wants to come in, then we address it at that time.
at that time, yes.
Okay.
And, you know, we will try to only develop it next to existing commercials or primary, corners. And all that has to be figured out, and the county has committed to staying with us to help us develop the actual zoning plan for the future.
Well, I just can't understand why it all went down M19 and hardly any of it went down Boardman Road.
Well, Boardman has multifamily on it as well as industrial that is on it, and we were expanding the industrial down that road a little bit.
Well, industrial, yeah, one lot.
Well, it's just a little
One
bit,
house.
but majority of that stuff's already either residential or institutional along Boardman. And on,
And most of the stuff on 19 is mostly residential.
actually, if you look at it and the uses through there, you look at the fact that the funeral home is basically a commercial entity, and there's quite a few multifamily.
I don't know of one multifamily home on that down
On
there.
M19,
Right. You tell me.
right across the street from,
The house they just worked on also?
yeah, the one
That's,
that's
that's been zone commercial for,
right next to the funeral home. He's got 2 units.
okay.
I know that the one that Myra of Mom's.
Right next to the funeral home, what, on
On the
the
north
south
side,
side?
north side, the one we fixed up last
Oh,
year.
that's 2 units there?
Yes, that's a 2
Okay.
unit.
Benton in Maine? Benton in Maine, there's 2 units.
Bennett in Maine, yeah, that's.
Benton in Maine
north,
is-
But that's actually central business district at this time, it's already commercial.
Just
It's
north of the
commercial to
church.
the first street, right?
Yeah,
Left?
Second Street on the left,
Second-
or on the right-hand side.
Okay.
The right-hand side stays commercial all the way past, at this point, past the gas station.
Okay, all right.
So then if someone comes in and wants to buy a house, tear it down and put in a Dairy Queen. Now you've got a Dairy Queen there and you've got a house on either side of it?
No, that's the whole point of having the commercial overlay is to control, like I said, control that development, make sure that there's not commercial house,
It'd be a
like there is now.
It adjoin, apparently with what you're saying, if there's something that's commercial, if something good to commercial, it'd have to be adjoining to the present commercial. In other
Either-
words, you
either
couldn't-
adjacent
you
to
couldn't
the
go too
present-
But
far.
you're on
Yeah,
both sides.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Adjacent to the
Okay.
present
So in other words,
commercial, or like a primary corner, like possibly Kurt Martyr's house. You know, if somebody wanted to come in and put something there, he's got the multifamily behind him. He does have residential next to him, most likely they would wanna buy all those houses all the way up to the party store and clear all that out.
Oh, I'm
Somebody's
sure
gonna do that.
there's such a big demand for a lot of new buildings in town.
Well, yeah, if somebody was gonna
That's
do
what would
that.
happen. Yeah.
You know, our primary concern right now is to fill the buildings we have. Not to just start tearing down buildings and building new commercial. That's not the point either.
All right.
So, anything else? Did any of the members of council have any questions or comments?
I think you answered my question. I was concerned how you were going to do that, and it sounds feasible.
And who decides if it can go, something can go in? then?
It goes to the planning commission and then comes to the city council, just like now.
Yeah.
And if you look in the master plan, there's a list of questions that if somebody brings in development that we ask ourselves to, you know, step through and say, okay, is this the proper thing to do? Is this the proper way to do it? Because we don't want to impede on existing uses. We don't want to make things not flow, you know. But if we're going to have commercial in town, it should be along the road that has 8,000 cars a day go by. You know, you had mentioned Boardman, but Boardman has something like 1,800 or 2,000 cars a day. So the commercial along Boardman would not benefit from the frontage the way commercial along Bell River, or along M19 would. Anybody else have any questions? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Yeah, motion?
We do,
Then we close it and then we adopt.
yeah.
Thank you, motion to close,
Yeah, any support? Did you get support?
support,
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Zukasar,
yes.
Zukas W,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent.
All right, now we need a motion to make a resolution with the city council to adopt the city of Memphis master plan.
I'll make that motion to adopt the city of Memphis master plan as presented.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent, Weaver.
Yes. I'd like to thank everyone who was involved with assembling this master plan. It took about a year, maybe a little over a year, and a lot of research and a lot of time by a lot of people, the counties, as well as the planning commission, so I'd like to thank them all for that. All right, moving on, non-agenda items from sidelines. I had none. Comments from city administration. Don?
Yeah, taxes are due February 14th, and we have a link now to view your utility billing and taxes online. If you go to our website, memphismichigan.com, you'll find them there. And our IT guy was out today working on our server. He'll be out tomorrow too.
Oh, well, you'll be back. Can they, at this point, pay their bills online by credit card?
I gotta check into that.
Check into that? Okay.
At 5%.
Yeah, there is a fee. Anything? Scott?
Oh, we got the hardware for the installation of the new DOS system.
Okay,
Sounds like they're gonna be starting next week.
fantastic. You have agenda things later, right?
That's right.
Okay. Anything, Jamie?
In addition, with the server and the IT coming out, we'll be adding the assessing visibility through the internet services link. So people will be able to see their assessment records, the history, as well as the breakdown of their assessment as we come into 2013. So-
And it's free to look at your own property record. If you want to look at someone else's, I believe it's $2, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And that, there's going to be a link to that on our website as well?
Yes, they'll have to sign up and create an account.
We're moving forward into the 20th century. Anything else? All right, let's move on. Adoption or amendment of the agenda.
I have, three items. Number 4, under training, we're going to cancel Todd. I said we'll get to it. Number 7, we want to eliminate. Number 8, board review of the Danny Board and his term, December 31st. Number 9, fire department, ice rescue training. Look for the changes and make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Support.
Rescue training, ice rescue.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully you've all had a chance to go over the regular meeting minutes of January 15th, 2013. If there's no question or comments, I'd entertain a motion to accept those.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Support.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar.
Yes.
All right, presentation and approval of January receipts report for $306,173.97. January disbursements report for $317,461.77, and electronic wire transfers of $6,677.33. There's no questions, I entertain we accept the receipts and disbursements report and place on file and pay the bills.
So moved.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion to accept communications?
Make that motion.
Support.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
All right, first communication, Friends of the Library, use the community center, and dear Memphis City Council. The Memphis Friends of the Library Group has requested permission to use the Memphis Community Center for the purpose of having book sales on the following dates during the 2013 calendar year. February 28th, March 1st and 2nd, June 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, July 30th and 31st, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, October 31st, and November 1st and 2nd during library hours. Anybody have any questions? Can I get a motion to allow them to use the community center for these dates?
I'll make a motion to allow the Friends of the Library to use the community center for those dates stated.
Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent.
Next communication is from Esmeralda Peters about the she's the mush ball director and she's use of the fields at the youth center. She had sent this last time. It's the same letter, we just actually have times on it now. On May 4th and 18th, June 1st, 15th, 29th, and July 13th and 27th, it would be from 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The tournament, which is August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, it would be first day is 4 p.m. to 8:30, second day 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and third day 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Does anybody else have any questions about this? Can I get a motion to allow the Mush Ball Tournament League to use the fields on those dates and times?
Is that a conflict with the Little League teams?
They have not
This is
used it
actually a
yet.
fundraiser
No,
for
it's
the
using
Little
them
League.
now.
Yeah, it is a fundraiser for the Little League.
So I'm sure they're.
Because I remember last year they all came
Well, the issue last year is they tried to do two fundraisers, the person that was heading it up, I don't know, it was weird, they broke it into factions or something. I think they're back together now.
I make a motion we allow them to use the fields on those dates stated and times.
support.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent.
All right, next is a letter from the Historical Society. Dear Mayor Weaver and council members, the Memphis Historical Society would like to use the community centers for the meetings on the following dates: March 28th, May 23rd, July 25th, and September 26th. And the chambers on November 21st and January 23rd, 2014. All meetings are at 6 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday of the month, except November meeting was pushed up 1 week for Thanksgiving. Let's see.
I'll make that motion.
All right. Just seeing if they conflicted with any of the other dates that we just approved, but they didn't.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan absent, Schneider absent, Weaver.
Yes. Okay, moving on to unfinished business. Fletcher, Falco, Shouty, and Francis. Our attorney, at one point about 3 months ago? 2 months ago? We had put out that we had voted, there was a motion and a vote to put our legal services out for bid. I thought it was only respectful, since we'd had the same attorney for over 25, 30 years, to give them a call and give them an opportunity to address the issues. I had a meeting with Alan Francis here, who's here with us today, about the problems that we had been having, and the police chief was the one who had the majority of the issues, and they had already cleaned up the issue at their end and gotten rid of the problem. And I said, well, you know, what I'd like is maybe we'll do a 90-day probationary period. You give us a letter of commitment back to the city, and then we'll meet again in 90 days and get the advice of the people who are actually using the service of whether we should change or not. So I don't know if we need to withdraw the motion and vote, or vote again not to put it out for bid yet, to give it this 90 days and then make a decision at that time. But that's what I would recommend, and our attorney showed up. If anybody has any questions for him about this issue, he's more than happy to address.
Well, we've had your firm for years, and I've been around here 15, 16 years, and your firm's always did an excellent job, so I was a little surprised to hear that we were having trouble, and,
What they had done is they've gotten a new employee.
yeah.
We had a new employee.
And so I'm hopeful then that you can resolve the issues and still maintain a business.
Yeah, and if I can just have 1 second. My name's Al Francis. I haven't been out here before. I'd like to thank Mayor Weaver and Councilman Snyder, who were at the meeting along with Chief Beals. I've been with the firm going on 10 years now, I think, and I'd actually handled the work here for about 7 years until the transition a short time ago. Chief Beals made me aware a little bit of some of the issues, and by the time I met with Mayor and Councilman Snyder, they've been resolved. So at least on our end, and we are committed to representing the city of Memphis. They've been a client since, you guys have been a client since well before I was involved. And I've told Chief Beals, you know, got my cell phone, you got my email. If anything comes up, we'll be happy to deal with it. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to deal with it. And you know, we want to continue it on. So I appreciate it if the council would give us this 90 days. I think that we can show the problems have been resolved, and if not, you know, we'll come back and deal with that too. But I'm pretty confident we have resolved the issue.
Well, I hope you have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, we've made a motion to put it out for bid. I think we have to,
I'll make a motion. I think I'll make a motion to rescind that, out for bid.
I'll support.
And
we'll go,
hopefully he'll get the issue solved, right?
I'm sure he will.
We'll get it done.
Good.
Sukasar,
Yes.
Sukas W,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Messiah absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, planning commission, reappointing planning commission members. We need to reappoint Robert Phillips, Mark Farquhar, and Richard Gallagher to the planning commission for a term to expire July 31st, 2015. Can I get a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Support.
Sukas W,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Messiah absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar.
Yes.
Next is a administrative memo number 6. It's a budgetary amendment to pay the final amount on the Cole Street project. Larry, do you have anything you want to say on this?
No, just the fact that this is the final payment, and this is going to come out of local streets, and also the $10,000 from the last will also from a local street. And I'll be making a spreadsheet up for you for the next meeting on the allocation of the CDBG funds. And that will be reimbursed out of those funds that we'll probably receive sometime late next year, late this year, I should say. So other than that, it's just a budget amendment to direct the transaction. And I'll make a motion to approve that.
Support.
Davis,
Yes.
Messiah absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
Yes.
Sukas W.
Yes.
Next item, we need to set a public hearing for the CDBG funds for 2013 for February 19th, 2013 at the regular council meeting. Can I get a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion that we have a public hearing for the CDBG funds for 2013 on February 19th, 2013 at the regular council meeting.
Support.
Messiah absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
Yes.
Sukas W,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Item number 4, fire department, approval of training. Did you say we're getting rid of the appointment?
No, only one, it's still gonna be one.
Oh, okay.
Just the one.
Appointment of,
I think it's John,
actually, we're just not doing his training, we need to still appoint you second assistant?
That's correct.
Okay.
There will be
Okay,
one
got it.
active, there will be one active training. We're gonna send,
Okay.
one of our guys in need of a medical license.
So we need to approve training. This is kind of a three-step thing we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to approve training for, what's the officer's name?
It's gonna be John Pertuca.
John Pachuca.
The officer training was canceled.
Oh, okay, so what type of training is he having?
He's in need of a medical license in which Richmond Lennox will be putting on a medical first responder course starting March 3rd. We're gonna run through May 5th.
Do we have the amount of $300? Is this 300?
It's 300 and it's exceptional if they get more students, the price could drop.
Okay.
So,
And it's in the budget. So first, we need a motion to approve the training for Mr. John Allen Prochuka Jr. for his EMS training, first medical responder.
I'll make that motion.
Schneider, absent. Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Stein, absent.
Next, we need a motion for Todd Kenya to be the second assistant chief. Is that what it is?
it is. Second assistant, Chief 3.
So can I get that motion?
I'll make that motion to promote Todd to fire chief number 3, assistant number 2, effective immediately.
Support.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Stein, absent. Schneider, absent.
Thank you, council.
Thank you. Next is the St. Clair County Mutual Aid Agreement for the St. Clair County Association of Fire Chiefs. Haven't we approved this before?
Yes.
You have.
We approve it every year?
It renews every 3 years.
Okay, so this is just a renewal of something we've already been involved in. This is it, right here,
Right.
the next page. There you go. So can I get a motion to sign the mutual aid agreement?
I'll make that motion that we sign a mutual aid agreement so that we can work with all of our partners in the first responders.
Support.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Stein, absent. Schneider, absent. Weaver.
Yes. Next, we have fire department. We have 2 invoices to Apollo Fire Apparatus. One for $431.75, the other for $766.63. What are these for?
The one is line item budget. It's the annual maintenance of our jaws equipment.
That's the 766.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That was just done here recently. The other bill from Apollo was some of our SCBA masks were damaged
Oh, okay.
beyond the capability of being used in a structural or any type of hazardous incident, so we had to get those repaired.
And we've had a lot of fires lately, haven't we?
We had a lot of mutual aid fires with neighboring departments, yeah, quite a bit with them in township.
So all we need is a motion to go ahead and pay these.
I'll make that motion that we pay the bill for $766.63, which is in the budget, and the $431.75 will be paid.
Support.
Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Stein, absent. Schneider, absent. Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Next is the assessing department, invoice for BSNA service and support fee, $355. Covers between February 1st, 2013 and February 1st, 2014. It's annual maintenance, general annual maintenance. Can I get a motion to accept that?
That motion.
Support. Is that a line item too?
Yeah, it's a budget item.
Zukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Stein, absent. Schneider, absent. Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson, Sukasar.
Yes.
Next is Board of Review, Danny Borick. What was his new term till December 2015?
I would say the 31st.
So can I get a motion to, yeah,
Mr. Mayor. To be consistent with the appointments that we just made for the Board of Review, we started them beginning in 2013 for 2013 and 14. And the new members of the Board of Review, as is consistent with the statute, we approved in odd number years. So this appointment should expire on December 31st of 2014,
2014.
okay.
to be
Thank you.
consistent.
Thank
Yes.
you for correcting
Is that
us.
15 or 19 months?
It should be,
Is that 15?
You said odd number year,
You said
it was
odd.
even.
no, they begin on, so they begin 13 and 14. It's a 2-year term. And then
For
it would-
3 years, you said.
No, for a 2-year term.
Last meeting it was.
I'll take a peek.
So what should we do, 14 or 15?
The Board of Review appointments are 2-year terms. It should be December 31st, 2014. If I've made an error on
Well, we
the
can
last.
correct it, we can correct it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
So can I get a motion to appoint Danny Borick to a term to expire December 31st, 2014?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Davis,
Yes.
Mulsine absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
And
Yes.
check into it, see what we need. to correct.
Sukasar,
Yes.
Sukas W.
Yes.
Next new business, rescue training for ICE rescue training. So that's not,
Immigration.
No, we currently have 5 members interested in taking a certified course. It was pronounced through the Macomb County Fire Chiefs Association, and it would be held in Harrison Township, behind Vacaville. So our local business here within our townships, Michigan Rescue Concepts, will be putting on the training, the training. So the 5 guys.
You only got 4 on here though, right?
Okay,
There's 4?
Yeah, there's 4.
how much is it per head?
$125 per student.
And we have that in the budget?
We do have that in the budget under advanced
All right.
training
Can I
budget.
get a motion to approve the ICE rescue training, and hopefully they'll never have to use it?
I'll make the motion, we allow the fire department to send these 4 gentlemen to ice rescue training.
Support.
Mulsine absent, Schneider absent, Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
They love it. Yes.
Sukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
All right. Moving right along, other new business from the mayor. I've got a few things. I've got handed a piece of paper today. It says the city of Memphis does not currently have a Title V plan for limited English proficiency plan on file with Michigan Department of Transportation. Please see the attached letter and respond to my email. Acknowledge receipt within 10 days. Compliance with federal and state civil rights regulation is mandatory, and it's our responsibility to ensure any sub-recipient has Title V plan, limited English proficiency plan on file. Please contact me for assistance or guidance. I was reading through what they wanted me to sign, and it says that I have 90 calendar days from the receipt of this correspondence to have a completed plan in place and posted on my website. The draft must be submitted and reviewed by the office within 30 days so that they can assist us in making corrections to ensure that your Title V plan is in compliance with regulations. Please note that the final draft must be reviewed and receive approval of our staff prior to sending it to your city council for adoption. So you had asked me to sign something here, but we need a plan to send them with this, right? So, I don't know who we need to, what committee could work on this plan.
For English, is that for?
For not speaking English. It's actually for people who don't speak very good English, we have to have it in place, some type of plan. It's
Like an interpreter or something?
I guess. I don't know, but apparently, this,
What do you guys think?
I have to send
The one you got.
this signature paper,
Yeah, that's the one I told you.
application for certification in compliance, I have to sign, but I didn't want to sign it. I didn't want to just sign anything, that we didn't have a plan in place for.
Other cities have.
You have to, by federal law, this is, I got it
Send it
today.
to you.
It's the first I've ever heard of that, I gotta be honest.
I got it today. It's under the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
You just must have got grant money or something.
Yeah, it has to do with some
Yeah.
grant money probably, that we have to have a plan in place for non-English proficient people. You know, if they're Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Usually you can find stuff that's adoptable like on a
Boilerplate.
website or something.
Yeah. We have to have a Title V coordinator. Do we have a Title V coordinator, an EO officer?
Not that I know of, I wish I ever heard of it.
Okay, well, I don't know if we can send this to, well, you don't want it to do, you advisory?
Advisory should do it.
Advisory should do it. So can I get a motion to forward this to advisory and get back with me?
He doesn't speak good enough English. Well, nothing to do with it.
We'll make him a copy of that, please. It just kind of hit me from left field, and I didn't know what it was, so
I wonder if any other cities have a.
I'm sure somebody has one. Good thing our attorney was here.
Yeah.
You can steal them.
Wine tasting fundraiser, the Women's Life Chapter 855, Saturday on March 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Sage Creek Winery. Appetizers will be served. You can get your tickets in advance by calling 810-392-5136. That's for the Women's Life Chapter 855. Let's see. Grab a Grog Sunday, a lot of alcohol things going around. Join us at Sage Creek Winery, Saturday, February 10th for Eats and Entertainment. Keith and Company. You must be 21. Grab a Grog Saturday. There's also a Walk for Warmth 2013 on March 2nd in Clinton Township. It's basically the Macomb County Community Service Agency's Walk for Warmth is a 1.5 mile walk fundraise held to raise funds to help low-income Macomb County residents in preventing utilities from being shut off and with furnace repair and replacement. And believe it or not, our entire town is considered low-income. Is that correct? According to the last census. That's all I have. Larry, you have anything?
Just one thing now, when you adopted the master plan, what procedures now do we follow? What's the planning commission gotta look at now? Do we have to then take the zoning and have it to the master plan?
That's it.
And so
Next, now there are multiple plans called for on that, like the spreadsheet.
Right.
There's a multitude of new plans, so I think that maybe the planning commission at the next meeting will sit down and discuss which order to do these plans in
And approach it and, okay.
because we can't do it all at once. We've got to take a bite at a time at this. And zoning is one of them. A open space parks and rec plan that the DNR would approve is another one. We need to position ourselves also for possibility of some funds coming from state and federal levels and help us. There's a lot of money being spent along riverways and waterways right now in Macomb County, in St. Clair County, and people are understanding the importance of having outdoor, preservation of those things. So, at the advice of the planners, we're going to try to decide which plan is our next step, and go from there. So the next meeting of the planning commission is really going to be a kind of a brainstorming session of, okay, where do we go from here?
Okay, answers my question, that's all I have.
Robbie?
No, I don't know.
Frank?
All right.
Bill?
Yeah, got a couple of things. I understand that party store's been sold down here.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We have a new owner. And it did not close. I'm very happy with the business instead of closing.
Do you know who the owner is?
I have not met the owner yet, but you also know Subway is under new ownership.
Again?
The Subway is?
Yes.
Again?
Subway store sold and it's under new ownership. So,
And, how's our gas station coming over here?
state's working on it. I talked to Bruce Christie, who says he's, almost ready to close on it, so it's all moving forward, just
Yeah,
inching along.
And,
Bruce as well.
What are they gonna do about the other one across the street?
You know, I actually met with, the owners of that, and the state representative had a open office hours at Mom's Country Kitchen about, was it 2 weeks ago? Week and a half ago? Something like that. And, I met with her and the owners of that station and trying to decide what they could do with it and how it could be developed. And nobody knows. I mean, at this point, the building's so small, it's between two houses. It's one of those spot zoned, bad ideas that went in it a long time ago. And the only way it really could be developed properly is if somebody who bought the grocery store also bought the little house, between and that and developed it all into one, type of service. But, at this point, there's nothing going on with it. You've got people living in the house that's part of the property and, storing all their stuff out front. So,
And what about our veterinarian, when's he coming in?
sheep, and, haven't talked to her. She's still, I mean, they're working on the building, so, getting it ready. She's actually working somewhere right now too, so I don't know if there's any conflict with where she's working, getting out of that situation and coming here or not, so, I don't know. Cause I wish I did know, I wanna take my dog up there. I've been holding off taking him to the vet. So I can go local.
Dogs up there.
Anything else? Can I get a motion
That's
to
it.
adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.